Hello and welcome to the AI Live interview series. I'm your host, e.vincent Martinez. Art and fashion collide on today's show. Our guest is an artist who once took over the famed storefront windows at Bergdorf's, has collaborated with global brands like Gucci and Rolex, and has a following of A-list celebrity art collectors like Salma Hayek, Penelope Cruz, and Ryan Reynolds. She's been featured in the New York Times, Vogue, Forbes, Women's Wear Daily, and so many, many other publications. And now she can add the Art Institute's AI Live to that impressive list. It is my pleasure to welcome the one and only Ashley Longshore to AI Live.
Ashley. I'm so excited about this. This is so magnificent. I mean, look, it's my dream to be around artists all the time, always. I'm about a curated life, and this is just like the perfect day for me. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you. And thank you for bringing the glam. Girl, look at you. I love it.
I don't want to be weird. I don't want to be weird, but I am naked and barefooted up underneath this thing. But, you know, I did not want to be a minimalist for you today. And I feel like now, more than ever, we need color and humor and fun and to celebrate. So here I am for you, baby.
Well, honey, if we ever produce an AI Live After Dark, then you can disrobe. How's that? Until then, it'll just be in my imagination.
Hey, we're a bunch of artists here. There's nothing wrong with a little nudity.
Listen, I agree 100%. All right, Ashley, I want to lay down a foundation for our viewers. Just your history is really worth repeating. So I know that you majored in English Lit in college, and correct me, but I think it was in that senior year or that last semester that you started painting. I know your dad has been incredibly supportive. So I just think that it's really noteworthy to share with our viewers that history from when you started painting to really to where you are now. I mean, I know that's a long time, but in a nutshell, just kind of give us the cliff notes on that.
I mean, I really think that the answer is actually quite simplistic. And I think a lot of people that have found what they love and that do what they love and are successful at it would say the same thing. At some point, as a very young adult, I just decided that it was okay to be me and that I had every opportunity in the world and every chance, just as much of a chance as anybody else, to go out there and make it. I found art because I was looking for a way to express myself. I guess more than anything this past year, I've really realized that I've always had lots of anxiety. I've been very anxious, even as a child. And I don't think I really realized it that much until this past year. But when I found art at 19, I found a stillness and a calmness and a joy that really was an escape from everything that made me fearful in the world. And I just wanted to paint. I just wanted to paint all the time. I wanted to figure out color. I wanted to figure out composition. I wanted to figure out, how can I afford to get canvas and paint? So, it was a spectacular journey, but that moment, that first day when I painted all day long, I can't, it would be like me describing an orgasm to you. There are no words. I would have to do like an interpretive dance for you. It was just, I think it's like falling in love. I think it's like, when you find your favorite outfit, or you find something that just defines you so much. It was like Cinderella's slipper. It just was such a joyful moment. And I think, I just started painting. My God, even in college, I would want to stay in my dorm room and paint instead of go out and get drunk and look for D, even though I did that too. But, it was very natural. It was very natural for me to then see this room full of paintings that I'd created and go, oh, okay, well, what's the next step here? I could go to a gallery, which I did do. But mostly it was, I want to get these babies out into the world. How can I sell these? How can I have a career? How can I turn this thing that I love so much into a way to sustain my life and all my interests? And that's really where the journey began. And my 20s were very hard. Very hard. Look, I mean, I've been turned down more than a bed in a cheap motel. Everybody said no to me. They all said I wasn't marketable. And when I first started going to galleries and I realized what the traditional gallery model was of 50%, them taking 50%, and also me not knowing who my collectors were, it became very easy for me to go, well, you know what? Vincent, am I allowed to curse?
You can curse, honey. Go ahead.
Okay. I was like, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. I am going to start my own company. I'm going to have my own gallery. I'm going to represent myself. I'm going to know who my clients are, know who my audience is. I'm going to stay connected with all of these people who've shown an interest in my work. I'm going to put myself out there as much as possible. I'm going to use this social media. I'm going to have pop-ups. I'm just going to fucking go for it. And that's what I've done. And I feel like since I'm speaking to artists, we all live for opportunity. We want an opportunity to show our work. We want an opportunity to talk about why we want to create. And the way that you do that is you have to put yourself out there. And by putting yourself out there, you never know what's going to happen. If you want to catch a bunch of fish, you know what? You can put one line in the water or you can get 6 fishing rods. I promise you your odds are better the more lines you have in the water. And I've really positioned my art career in that exact same way. Has it been easy? Hell no. Has it been fun? You damn right it has. Is my career breaking off into some different areas of creativity that I had only imagined? Yes. And that's the other thing. And I know I'm talking a lot right now, but I'm just like going for it.
It's good. Go for it.
As artists and creative people, when you first get started, you really have to be patient with yourself. You have to understand that, when you're planting seeds today, you're not going to get fruit tomorrow. And I feel like there's so much impatience out there, especially with social media. There's this feeling of instant gratification, but when you're an artist, there's so much that happens in understanding yourself, understanding your own voice, understanding why you're creating what you're creating, learning who your audience is, finding out what feels best to you. What are you comfortable with? So your 20s might suck and they might not be about money, but that's such an important growth period in your career as an artist. But I will tell you this, the most important relationship that you need to have is the relationship with yourself. And when you wake up in the morning, you have to tell yourself the reasons why you can make the art that you want to make, why the shit that you have on the canvas is good. You cannot sit there and tell yourself the reasons why nobody will understand you or nobody will get you, because I promise you, not everybody will. But when you put yourself out there creatively, there is a magnetism that happens, an intimacy like falling in love, where the right people will find you that are on your same life frequency, and it will be magical, and the relationships you make will be incredible.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. I mean, that is some real talk from Ashley Longshore. You had me mesmerized. And also giggled a few times with some of your examples. But
it's the truth.
you've got to be. It is the truth, and you have to be your true, authentic self. And this is why this type of preaching is real, and we need to hear it. So I'd like to really discuss some of your artworks. When I'm, as you know, I'm a fan and I'm very familiar with your work. But as I go through your website, actually, my God, I could not, there's so many bodies of work. I mean, from the from the iconic women series to the butterflies, to the Audrey Hepburns,
Yeah.
the Frida Kahlos, the fashion icons, the presidents.
Yeah.
They go on and on. They
I'm
are
prolific.
fabulous.
I'm prolific.
You
I'm prolific.
with capital letters. With capital letters. Yes, you are. So how do you? Can you share some insight with us? How do you go about conceptualizing these themes and topics? Are these just ideas in your head that you're getting out,
Yeah.
or what inspires you? What motivates you?
So it may be the same way that like you have a beautiful sofa and a great chair and some of your favorite things and the way that you might rearrange a room. When I start off with a painting, I have a good idea and then I play with it. I play with it and I push it. It's like I just did that disco ball series, and I just love to imagine like what would this disco ball say to me? And it's funny because I just did all this like orgies don't start themselves and carpe fucking diem, and then yesterday I did one that was a little bit more adult, I think, because I had a lot of work going on, and it's a big disco ball that says please leave by 9, and the other one says you don't have to go home but you can't stay here. Because, there's an adulting factor. You can disco and then you can also work your ass off. But, it's
right.
Again, with my own anxieties, my favorite thing in the whole world is painting. And, it's so funny. I've had people that have been like, well, your art's never going to be worth anything because you paint too much. Okay. Well, I promise you this, one day I will die. And Van Gogh and Picasso were painting 8 to 10 pieces a day. And as far as I'm concerned, the more you can paint, the better it is. Put these thoughts out there, these tangible thoughts. People need to see them. You have to lay down tracks in your life and set a pathway. So, I earlier in the spring, I was so excited about spring and everything was so gray, and I've always loved bugs and butterflies, and I just, my God, these little beetles, and they're living jewels. So I'd never just dedicated one whole series to beetles and moths, and to me, I'm so thinking about renewal lately, renewal and blossoming and the world blossoming and partying. And, even after the harshest winter, spring always comes, and that beautiful spring green and all that color, it just, it moves your soul. So, after the year that we've had, I've just been very prolific in thinking about how excited I am for everybody to get back out there and to be interacting with one another. And I just want to be on a sweaty dance floor with a drink in my hand, scream singing under a disco ball,
I want to be on that dance floor with you. I will travel to New Orleans. We will go dancing together, okay?
I love it. No, I'll
and
come
I'll
to
wear
Atlanta.
some
We'll go to the
sequins for
Claremont
you.
Lounge. I'll buy you a lap dance, Vincent.
Even better. Oh, honey, you got a date. We're on. You're on. So, Ashley, I could hear my producers giggling. You got them laughing. I could hear them in my ear. So, I want to talk about some of your current work. Like I said, I stalk your Instagram through my personal handle, which is Fashionado. And I'm there probably 2-3 times a day just seeing what is she doing now? What is she posting now? And I've got both your accounts, the PG one, which is not as fun, but the other one is really fun.
It is.
So something you posted recently, and I know the painting is behind you, is Dorothy. And I have to say, oh, wow. When I saw that, I think it was yesterday, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, of course you did. What queen doesn't love Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz? Hello.
She's she's actually going all the way to Belgium.
Really? Oh, wow. That's not Kansas. That's a long way from Kansas.
Yes, it is.
There she is right there. So what I love about when I see it, what I see about it that I love about it is, first of all, she's wearing her little blue jumper dress, but of course she's got the Louis Vuitton logo all over it. She's got that big freaking Birkin, and Toto looks like a Jeff Koons balloon dog.
Right.
So
Well,
I love it. But
this is Oz. This is Oz. This is what I'm so like thinking about lately as the world is starting to slowly open back up is, you know, that Oz out there, that Oz that we fantasize about. That place where people are looking for their brains, they're looking for their heart, they're looking for their courage, they're leaders that aren't who they say they are. There's all of these fancy things, the roads of gold, and there's also witches and people chasing after you. And you could even have all the money in the world and your magic shoes that could bring you anything. But at the end of the day, there is no place like home. We can't forget that Dorothy just wanted to go home. She just wanted to be home. So for me, it's a sign of, everything that glitters is not gold. We love Oz and we love all that madness. But this past year has really taught us about solitude and what's real in our lives, what we really value and what gets us through things. And, we've all been at home a lot. So there's no place like home. There's also no place like Louis Vuitton and wearing a Birkin bag either, but you can have both.
You can have both. Well, home could be, in your closet, right?
Right.
In your designer closet. Well, listen, speaking of designers, I mean, we definitely have to talk about some of that because in my introduction, I mentioned some of your collaborations, which are truly just out of this world. I mean, Bergdorf's and Gucci and Rolex. I remember, when I met you, I played with your Judith Lieber clutches. I mean, I wanted to swipe one. They were so fabulous. Talk to us a little bit because I'm thinking about our students at the art institutes. One of the things they really crave for, they just love, they want to be a brand. You are a brand.
They are a brand.
They want to do these collaborations with them.
You are
so
a brand.
Share with us, give us some insight about working with these collaborators. I mean, these are some major brands.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to be smart and understand. Oh my God, I love that photograph. I think you need to be really smart and understand who your audience is. First of all, you need to take on partnerships that. And this is just what I've done. The way I've done it is not the right way. It's only my way. There's a million ways to do it. I just want to say that. But I've really worked with people that I wanted to learn from. I've worked with incredible companies that have taught me and my own team a lot of things. All the way from doing the partnership with Clos de Peau, where I was in Shanghai and Tokyo, to working with Linda Fargo and David Hoey at Bergdorf Goodman and having my art down all of those windows. And then you have opportunities like, when I worked with Christian Siriano and was painting live, in the middle of New York Fashion Week. I mean, that was insane. But I think what it all really stems from too is what I was talking about earlier. The relationships that you start building in your 20s, in your 30s, or whenever you decide to become an artist, when you decide to blossom as an artist, because I think you're born an artist, those relationships are so important. And you keep them throughout your entire life or career. And all of these major things that have happened to me with the big corporations, it was their idea. This wasn't for me approaching them. It came from relationships, having shows, putting myself out there, utilizing opportunities in the media, really performing. And just like I was saying, when you get that opportunity, you just go for it. Work as hard as you can. Be gracious, be enthusiastic. All of those things are, I mean, it's just incredible. And I know I was telling you before we started recording, I'm about to break into a brand new area of creativity that I am just elated about, that I can't wait to share with everybody. But just keep in mind that a career is a long thing. And it's, who said it? Maya Angelou. It takes rain and sunshine to make the flowers grow. There's ups and downs, and you never know what's going to happen in a day. It may be a shitstorm or it could rain money. You never know who's going to send you an email. You never know who's going to ring your doorbell. But when you're working as hard as you can and you're just doing the best that you can and you're trying to put good energy out there, you never know what might happen. But just don't ever give up on yourself, because there's a lot of opportunity out there. And two things are for sure. There's an infinite amount of money to be made, and there's an infinite amount of fame to be had, if that's what you're looking for. You know, everybody's always looking for art. People, human beings, you know, we study history and we learn about history from art and artifacts. You know, we want to know about the Egyptians. We go to the Metropolitan. We go look at hieroglyphics. We want to learn about, you know, the beginning of civilization. We go look at, you know, fertility statues from Mesopotamia. I mean, it's creating art and being a person brave enough to do that is, you know, it's a really special thing. Do it with all of your heart, and know that, you know, if you work hard every day, great things will happen, you know.
You are just preacher Longshore today, because that is all really
shit.
good advice. Thank you. But speaking about, you know, making art and fame and being a brand and making money, one of the things that I love about you that I've really learned, you know, from just researching in preparation for this interview is your business model. You know, what it has evolved to. Earlier on, you talked about how, yes, you were in galleries, but you don't really do galleries anymore. You've got your own space in New Orleans, but your business model is truly social media and your website. You can, and it's not just buying your artwork, it's your products. You've got something for everybody and for every budget on your website. And that is truly savvy. That's very smart. Can you give us a little bit of advice on how all of that works?
I don't want to be dead and then having my art at a museum and, you know, putting my art all over shit and me miss out on the opportunity to take that and, you know, not to take it, but, you know, the thing about it is I don't make prints and I don't make giclées, and I had so many people that were not ready to be, they weren't in the market to buy original artwork. So, you know, when I was really young, before I could buy artwork, I would buy little curated art items, cool little things, because people that love the arts, they, you know, you curate your little nest, you curate your space that you in, you surround yourself with things that make you happy. So you know, I started this manufacturing program, and of course there's so many cool companies that do things like this. There's Showfields, which is an amazing store that's really doing so much of this now with artists, and then Artware Editions is a great website that does amazing collaborations with artists. But you know, it creates an opportunity for someone to have a little Ashley in their life while they, you know, prepare to enter buying, you know, original pieces of artwork. I know I had to do that. So, yeah, I mean, I just thought that was fun and it made sense. And I mean, in terms of my business model, look, I was broke as shit. Everybody told me I couldn't do it. They said,
and you did it.
They said, well, I'm doing it. I'm not done yet. They said I wasn't marketable. But the thing about it is, you know, look, this business model, I can assure you, is not for everyone. Is it exhausting to be running a business, managing a team? Thank God I've got an incredible COO that is just unbelievable. She's so amazing, which has allowed me to have more time for my creativity. But it's you know, it's a lot, but I enjoy that. I love the pressure of it. And yeah, the result is I get to make a little extra cheese. And because of that too, I get to give back a lot more to my community. So, you know, the thing about it is this: when you make your own money, when you understand that your creativity and your individuality, you are a brand, you are an entrepreneur, you are putting yourself out there. It's really up to you to decide what success means. And when I first got going, I could tell you success meant I made $550 and I could pay my rent. Then I was like super successful if I made another $500 and I could drink vodka and cranberries until I passed out after eating pizza with all my best friends. Like, I can't even tell you, like, that to me was like the most successful thing ever. And you know what? I would celebrate those sales of, you know, a $200 painting, a $400 painting, the same way I celebrate, you know, a six-figure sale with somebody that I have to call Her Excellency now.
Oh, wow. I love it.
I mean,
okay,
you know,
Ashley, you could read me.
Celebrate all of it.
Go ahead.
Celebrate every moment of it. You know what? When we first get going, you know what I used to celebrate? If I sent somebody an email and they emailed me back, I was like, hell yes. Today was a winner. I got somebody to email me back. Fuck yes, I'm doing it. You know, please celebrate all of those little things and celebrate the fact that you're brave enough to put yourself out there, because that's so important. That's so important.
Well, I think it's about viewing your life as your cup is always half full. I mean, it's not, or it's full. I mean, it's not, I'm very optimistic, you know, even when it's raining, there's always sunshine and rainbows in my life. And that is a choice, because I could not do that and just take a nap and be sad all the time, but there's no fun in that. You know, you've got to really live your life to the fullest. I believe it's about quality of life. And I agree with you 1000%. Even if it's just a good email, I cannot tell you how many times I have jumped and danced when I get a great email.
Yes,
you know, it does.
Exactly.
It makes a difference. Yeah. So a little while ago, Ashley. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you know, creatively, and with all the artists that are listening, you know, you have to go out there and find what your own definition of success is. Success might mean that you finished a painting that took you 6 months to create. It might mean that you've made enough money to pay your rent, and tell your boyfriend to get the fuck out because now his place is your place. It may mean that, you know, you're trying to make $100,000 in 1 year. But don't put boundaries around yourself of what that success is. What I just want you to do is celebrate that you're brave enough to put yourself out there. Because, Vincent, you know, the other thing is, you know, when you're putting yourself out there, sometimes the impact can be different than your intention of your artwork. You have to just know who you are as a person, know what you're putting out there, and do the best you can. And if you can get to that point, then damn it, you are successful.
Amen to that, Preacher Longshore. A little while ago, you mentioned giving back to the community, and I would like to, first of all, we can keep chatting all day. I know we can't though, but I would like to really end, because I think it's very important to note you are very philanthropic, and I don't know how many people are truly aware of that, but I'd love to hear what some of your causes are and why they're important to you.
Yeah, you know, most recently, I have been donating a lot of money, well, whatever a lot of money is. I have been donating money, proceeds from my art sales, to the Anti-Defamation League. I think they're incredible, and they're the leading organization against hate, all kinds of hate towards everyone. I think their platform is incredible. No, another organization that I love so much that I'm sure you're familiar with are my friends at Pansy Patrol in Atlanta. My friends Don and Tom use creativity to block out hate at pride parades and all kinds of events. They literally go and find people that are holding some really horrible signs, and they're
very brave. They're very brave.
Yeah, they've made huge, big flowers and pansies, and then they they hold up their pansies and they block out the haters with this love. And I love what they do. I mean, they've told me stories about, how young kids will be coming out for the first time to their first Pride Parade, and they're young, and these people are standing there screaming the most horrible things you've ever heard, and they rush up and they cover those guys up, and it's just like, you smother all that with just love and beauty. So I really, really, really love Pansy Patrol, and I can't wait to do more with them. I hope there'll be Pride in Atlanta this year, because I really want to fucking come.
I think so. Oh, please,
you think
come.
there will? Yes.
I think so. There's talk about it. So.
I
come,
so.
girl.
Yeah, and then there's the Women's Shelter in New Orleans, which is an incredible organization. There's Amy's Art Cart at Children's Hospital that these really, really sick kids, when they have the opportunity to do art in the hospital, a lot of times they forget that they're sick for just a minute, So all of those things are really important. And of course, last year helping the food bank and all of the first responders and people like that. I mean, look, here's the thing. We talk about success. When you get to the point where you have excess, you help your community, because the stronger your community is, the better your business is, the better everyone is. When everybody's thriving and everybody has what they need, then we have a much happier place to live. And, I really, really believe in that.
Well, Ashley, thank you. You are definitely making this a happier, more colorful, more fabulous place to live.
And
so really, thank you for all that you do.
Wait, are you ready?
I'm ready. Take it off. Take it off. I thought you were nude underneath that.
I got my
that cover
on, baby.
Rock and roll. I love it. Okay, well, after dark, it'll have to be nothing, right?
Right.
After dark, after dark will be the uncensored version. You look fabulous, Ashley.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much. And for putting art into the world and supporting arts and creativity. It's so important that we have the freedom of expression. We have the opportunity to grow. We have the opportunity to learn from each other, and that we can continue to make art and connect with each other and create conversations based on that. It's really important.
Yeah. I agree with you, Ashley. That the Art Institutes, we have 8 campuses across 4 states, from Miami through Texas, Atlanta, Virginia Beach. We have students that are majoring in fashion design and animation, culinary arts, media arts, interior design. And I just think it's so important for them, photography, you name it, for them to hear these words of inspiration and wisdom, because honestly, and I live this too, everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. And I think it's very important to hear people say that and reaffirm that notion as you did today. So thank you very, very much for being on AI Live and just for sharing your life with us.
Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your art, and don't give up on yourself. Ever, 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 ever. It's all there waiting for you. And I always say this on my social media, but it's true. The world does need you.
There you go. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. I'm your host, e.vincent Martinez. There's so much to watch right here at ailive.aii.edu. It's jam-packed with interviews with industry leaders, panel discussions, school events, and much, much more. Plus, you get to interact live with our guests in the Q&A sessions in our premier events. There are current shows, or you can delve into our archive for some interesting industry information that you may have missed in our AI Live Rewind series. So join us every week as we showcase talented professionals in your industry, creating an immersive experience and a look into your field of study. Hey, school was never this much fun. Get engaged. We're AI Live. Come check us out.